Okay, we got Scranton at Pawtucket. And the Scranton is leading the International League North. They were a few games up on the PawSox. PawSox are currently in the number one wildcard spot, but in a very tight race. The Syracuse Mets, you saw one earlier, they were a few games ahead. They're a few games ahead of them, and they're only half a game ahead of the Rochester Red Wings, who we'll see playing later today. So, both teams, two of the best in their leagues. Both teams projected to make the playoffs right now, but both teams just very close to missing it. As Zach Granite steps into the box, he takes strike one. Pitcher on the day for the Pawtucket is Ward. Ward, one of the Red Sox, should have a pretty good rotation overall. As you see, 15-39, second in the IL North. They're over halfway through this season. It's not 160 games, it's shorter than that. That ball is fouled off by Granite. Granite has 328 at-bats in the season, 3 home runs, 20 RBIs, a 234 average. But he is very fast, tied for 7th in stolen bases. So that's why part of the reason they have him in the top of the lineup. He could run pretty fast. His 0-2 pitch is low. Granite will take that. 68 degrees, overcast, no wind here. Pretty nice temperatures for this minor league game. As Ward throws the 1-2 to Granite, and it is fouled off. Four seam 92 miles per hour. Ward throwing the low 90s for his fastball, so he's going to rely a little bit more on control and break to get these hitters out. And that ball grounded down the first base line, but foul. See the ball boy there for the PawSox. PawSox are the home team today. That ball, another foul ball, and the PawSox fielders will not try to get it. Third foul ball of this at bat by Granite. That ball hit to second base, and it'll be fielded and fired to Dalvik at first for the first out of the inning. It's a pretty packed house here for the PawSox here at Riverboat Field. Usually they play at McCoy Stadium, but right now they are at another stadium as McCoy is not in the game, as Tyler Wade steps in. Grounded to first, just foul. And you see 6 runs scored in his last 3 games, having a pretty good season for him. Ball outside 1-1. Wade, usually on the big league roster, but has been in the AAA. He's kind of gone up and down. He is right now 9th in runs, tied for 5th in walks, and 6th in on-base percentage. 1-1 is just outside 2-1. Another one outside 3-1. Mike Ford, the RailRiders' first baseman, on deck. Just high, and Wade will work a walk. Wade, a big threat on the bases, so Ward's got to keep him at first here. As Mike Ford steps into the box. Mike Ford, a lefty, another lefty for this lineup. His numbers in the year: 104 at bats, 3 home runs, 30 RBIs, and a 273 average. Correction, 15 RBIs and a 298 average. As that was a hit and run, but hit by Ford, foul into the seats. Ford packs a big bat. Surprisingly, only 3 home runs, but he had 12 home runs last year in 50 games with the Yankees, so he could put a pop on it. As that ball is pitched out, Tyler Wade is not going on that pitch. That ball popped up, and Jeter Downs will get under it and make the play for the second out of the inning. The Red Sox defense: Connor Wong at catcher, Bobby Dahlbeck at first, Chad De La Guerra at second, Downs at short, Tristan Casas at third, Jaron Duran at right field, Tate Matheny in center, and Luke Tendler in left field. As Brendan Wagner steps into the box. Wagner has 8 home runs of the season, 32 RBIs, a .250 average. That ball is strike on the lower part of the plate. Wade leads off first. The 0-1 pitch is hit into the right field for a base hit. Wade will stay at second. And the RailRiders have a 2-out hit off the bat of Wagner. Now stepping in is Ben Ruta. That ball is flown into left field, deep, but caught by Luke Tendler. And Ward will get out of the inning despite 2 base runners for the RailRiders. Heading to the bottom of the first, a 0-0 game. You see David Hale stepping in, 5-5 record on the year, only 1 start. Usually used out of the bullpen, 2.26 ERA, 71 innings, 1.16 whip. So he's been used as a long relief, used as a middle relief pitcher, but now he's a starter for the RailRiders. Drops moves happen. Sometimes relievers will be put in that situation where they have to start. As you see, Tendler up, and he's second on the PawSox in batting average. It just grounded to second. Wade will take it and fire onto first for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. And the RailRiders defensive alignment. We have Chris Iannetta at catcher, Mike Ford at first, Tyler Wade at second, Anthony Volpe at short, Brendan Wagner at third, Ben Ruta in left field, Jason Dominguez in center, and Zach Brennan in right. Cheater down, steps in. That ball called a strike. You see the RailRiders 54-35 in the year, first in their division, second best record in the league. And because the North has 2 more teams, they automatically will play the wild card team, and then the other 2 divisions, which have 4 each, will face each other in the first round. It's a best-of-5 series. Then you have the finals, obviously, after. And then you face the Pacific League after. The winner of the IL gets the Governors Cup, and then you have like the AAA World Series against the Pacific League. The 1-1 to Downs just gets a strike on the inside part of the plate, 1-2. That ball grounded to short, taken by Volpe, and throws onto Ford for the out. 2 outs quickly in this inning.
The designated hitter, Josh Akemi.
And then you have Josh Akemi here, the PawSox DH, can also play first base for them.
Count 1-0.
And his last game, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, so looking to bounce back from that here. Third in the lineup for the PawSox. Outside, 2-0. And Akemi, he was selected in the 5th round of the 2014 draft by the Red Sox. One of the guys that will bat lefty but throws righty. A little bit odd, but some players have that. As that pitch just high, 3-0. Hale down 3-0. 2 outs in the inning. On deck would be Tristan Casas, who are the PawSox. Right down the middle for a strike. Seems like they did not give Akemi the hit sign. Strike. Got him swinging. 3-2 now. And struck out looking. Akemi goes down, and Hale gets out of the bottom of the first relatively unscathed. 3 up, 3 down. As Scranton gets their second at bats of the game. Got Jason Dominguez up. High ball 1. Dominguez is the Yankees' top prospect and is top 55 overall. Signed a $5.1 million signing bonus, which is huge for an international signing. And hadn't surprisingly up in AAA, but I think in MLB The Show they do a lot based on ratings rather than realistically where they'd be, because Dominguez was not was in rookie ball before the season, and him going up to AAA, it's a little bit unrealistic as that ball is grounded to second, taken by Guerra, and on to first for the first out of the inning.
Batting seventh, the catcher, Chris Iannetta.
Now you got Chris Iannetta. The RailRiders catcher was on the big league squad, but sent down after the Major League club traded for Jacob Stallings from the Pirates.
Nope.
Outside ball 2.
2 balls, no strikes.
And Iannetta's been around the league a lot. Yankees have a lot of those guys who've been around the league a lot. Ball fouled back. Strike 1. Yeah, it has been cold recently, but was on the big league squad. He had to start once Gary Sanchez got hurt. And filled in. He didn't do too bad. Yankees still were a very good team, despite Gary Sanchez being injured, because they have such a great lineup. That ball outside 3-2, and Anthony Volpe on deck. Strike 3 on the lower outside corner. Not very happy with that one is Iannetta, but you see just hit the corner, maybe like a tiny bit outside, 94 mph for steam. Now you got Anthony Volpe, another highly rated prospect for the Yankees, 9th overall. That ball is outside 1-0. And you see his last 3 games, 333 average, 3 for 9. So hitting nice, better than his season numbers, only hitting 260 on the year. That ball looped into right field, but caught by De La Guerra for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the second here on ML BotBall, and it's still a 0-0 game.
Leading up for the PawSox, the third baseman,
As Tristan Casas is up. That ball outside 1-0. Casas, 10 runs scored his last 10 games, so he's had the guys behind him drive him in a lot, and he's gotten on a good amount as well. Another one outside, 2-0. Flown into center field, and that will be caught by Dominguez for the first out of the second.
Batting fifth, the second baseman,
So far, just all business attacking these hitters and not getting deep into the count with any of them. As De La Guerra gets up, has had a lot of action there at second base.
Nope.
Just outside, 1-0. Had a double last game. De La Guerra, pretty good speed. He's pretty good also. He's pretty good fielding in general. That ball in there for a strike. The 1-1 is hit into left field, and that will just drop in front of Ruda for a base hit.
Batting fifth, the first baseman,
It off the field, a little bit off the end of the bat, but does drop in front of Ruda. As Bobby Dalbec gets up. And he hits that one into right field, and that will drop in as well, right in front of Granite. And first and second now with 1 out. Hit too hard for De La Guerra to advance to third, but first and second, 1 out. Maybe you see a double steal here. Maybe try a hit and run. As Jaron Duran gets up. That ball looked a little bit high, but called a strike. See Duran, 13 home runs this season, 4th on the PawSox. And he's also tied for 3rd in stolen bases in the league, 16, and 7th in runs with 43. That ball scoots away, but no runners try to advance. And See, I am calling them the PawSox. They're called both the Red Sox and the PawSox because they're from Pawtucket. I know a lot of teams do call their minor league teams the same as their major league team, like you got the Staten Island Yankees, but I think the PawSox are a little bit more creative based on where they're from. That ball outside, ball 2. 2-1 count now. Now getting into a little bit of trouble in the second inning. That ball fouled away on a pitch on the top of the zone. 2-2. Hale really needs an out here. Already has 2 runners on, 1 out. Getting it to 2 outs can make it much easier for him. That pitch fouled off. Ran also, his 13 home runs are tied for second in the league as his RBIs, 51, also in second. So, generating a good amount of power, looking for another RBI here. That ball's grounded down the third base line, but stopped by Wagner, but he cannot make a play. Ran too fast for him, but nice job saving the run. If that ball goes through, it's at least 1 run, maybe 2 if it gets to the wall. As the catcher, Connor Wong, gets up. That ball is fouled up, and Wong, pretty fast for a catcher, has 64 speed, so a ground ball might not necessarily mean 2. Maybe the RailRiders just decide to go to home. That ball in there, strike 2. Wong over 4 last game. Not expected much offensive production bottom of the lineup. It does have a 260 average, which isn't bad for an 8th hitter. As that ball hit into center field. And just caught. Nice play by Dominguez, but a run will score there. Dominguez got it off the end of his glove, and a little bit of a web gem there, but Wong does get the job done. The runner advances from third. No other runners try to advance, and you got 2 outs with Tate Matheny up. And Matheny, that name sounds familiar. He is the son of Mike Matheny, guy who used to be the Cardinals manager. Has that ball in there for a strike. And a 4th round pick in the 2015 MLB draft. Was originally selected by the Cardinals in the 23rd round. At the 2012 draft, decided to go to college. I know a lot of players that happens where the Yankees drafted a relative like Mariano Rivera. Sometimes you see that happen, just that it's late round. Like, you don't expect much there, although there are some gems for late round picks. A lot of times you'll just pick a family member or some like celebrity guy you know is not going to play in MLB, like Russell Wilson being drafted. No, everyone knows he's just going to play football, but worth a shot to draft him. It's now 1-2 on Matheny. Hale trying to avoid any further trouble, or just giving up 1 run this inning. Ball 2-2. Hale sweating this inning. Lots of pitches so far, already over 20. And that just outside 3-2, and top of the lineup of the PawSox up next. So you want to get Matheny out here, as the runners will be going on this pitch, so a single will score a run. Hale in a precarious situation. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. And here's the pitch, and it is hit into right field. That ball would have been called a ball, but it was caught by Granite. And Hale gets out of it with limited damage. 1-0 PawSox on a sacrifice fly by Wong. As we head to the top of the 3rd. Kyle Higashioka is up. Another Yankees catcher. Struggled a lot this season. Yankees expected him to be the backup catcher, but lost the job to Iannetta, and now DHing in the minors. That ball 1-0. 2 strikeouts yesterday. Just having an overall awful season. Hitting below 200. Only 1 home run, so just nothing to make up for his struggles to the plate. He does have good fielding, and he has shown power. His first 3 hits were home runs after struggling immensely going into the majors, including 1 off Price, which I think knocked him out of the game. As already 3-0 on Higashioka. ninth hitter in the RailRiders lineup. And that ball is outside, and 4-pitch walk. Higashioka with the top of the RailRiders lineup coming up. We're not happy after losing Higashioka. 9-hitter, you got to put him away. Rounded out in the first. See his numbers, average, his on-base percentage, OPS. So his slugging percentage pretty similar to his OPS. It's a little bit surprising, but not too much for a first hitter. You're not going to expect too much power out of that guy.
1-0.
Inside 1-0, and Higashioka will not be running. I'll have to say that in advance unless there is a hit and run.
Nope, that's down.
That ball just low, 2-0. I'm sure Ward's not happy there on that cutter. Higashioka on first. 2-0 pitch to Granite. Is hit into to right field, but foul. Granite was with the Twins and then the Rangers, but signed a minor league contract with the Yankees, hoping to make the big league squad in case there are some outfielder injuries. That ball is outside, 3-1. He's also been pretty consistent, 12th in the league in at-bats, so he's played almost every game for this team, and consistent guy. You're going to you slot him at the top of the lineup every time, and looking to maybe advance the runner here on that 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Ward has only thrown 1 strike this inning and walked 2 batters. A mound visit in order, but first and second, and you got Tyler Wade up. Wade, great hitter, but maybe he lays down a bunt here. Maybe he just waits to get walked again. He already got walked in the first. We'll see what RailRiders decides to do here, what Doug Davis, the RailRiders manager, decides to do here. So he'll be swinging, and that pitch swung on a miss for a strike. He can play basically everywhere. He learned the outfield last year, and unfortunately to him, he got sent down and made a lot of Yankee fans mad. But he can play all around the infield. He can play most of the outfield. He has great speed. He's a good fielder. He's going to probably be used as that extra inning runner for the Yankees this season. Swung on and missed. Juicy pitch, but Wade missed the curveball. 1-2. Ward hoping for a ground ball here. And that grounded to third on Guerra and on to Dahlbeck for the double play. A big double play there for Ward.
The first baseman, Mike Ford.
See a low pitch, and then it's on. It's a picture perfect double play. Right to Casas. Have to go a little bit in, but pretty easy double play there despite Wade's speed. As Mike Ford steps in. Strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. And Ford had a 909 OPS last year with the Yankees. Kind of expected to make the roster, but the Yankees have so much depth that he's now in the minors. Call him a 4A player, and what I mean by 4A is a guy who has major league talent, but stuck in minor league just because of how talented their team is. Think of a guy like Luke Voigt, who the Yankees now have at first base. He's a 4A guy. Had the talent to be in the majors, but was stuck in the minors due to the depth the team had. That ball swung and fouled off. 0-2. Ward up to 45 pitches. Has labored this inning, but had a big double play last at bat. And that hit into right field, and will it drop? It will not, as Duran gets it for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the third. PawSox up 1. And just a reminder that we are raising money this week for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. dedicated to providing advocacy, education, support, and public awareness so that all individuals and families affected by mental illness can build better lives. And we hope you can donate. We do this all for charity. We do this all for reps and fun, but it's also for charity. We're not getting paid at all for this. It's just it's baseball, and we want to do it, and we want to do it for a good cause. So donate. As that pitch fouled off. Got the top of the PawSox lineup, Luke Tendler. Strike 1 and 2. Strike 3, swinging, and Hale's second strikeout of the day. Good start to this inning. That last inning. Now you got Cheater Downs. Just high 1-0. Downs ranked 44th by MLB among prospects, 86th by Baseball America, and he was the big headliner of that Mookie Betts trade. That's Price and Betts going to the Dodgers, and a lot of prospects going to the Red Sox.
Ball 2.
That one's high 2-0, but you have to wonder, what does Downs do? Because the Red Sox have a great shortstop of their own in Xander Bogaerts, so is Downs going to try to go to second? They kind of have a gap there. Does he play, do they trade one of them? Do they trade Bogaerts and go for the cheaper Downs? Do they maybe have Downs learn another position? Or what do they do? Maybe they have Downs learn the outfield. A decision for the Red Sox coming up pretty soon as a 4-pitch walk onto Downs, and Downs will happily take that base.
The designated hitter.
As Josh Akimi steps in for the second time, struck out in first inning.
He's going!
And Downs was stealing, but ball bobbled by Iannetta, so he didn't even throw it. Nice steal by Downs. Not great speed, but has enough where he can swipe a bag if the pitcher's not paying attention. Swung on a miss for strike 1 on the lower inside part of the plate. Another one inside, 2-1, similar to that first pitch. Akemi has a twin brother named Michael, and he's a linebacker for Thaddeus Stevens Community College. That ball is grounded onto third, and Wagner will throw it onto fourth for the second half of the inning. And Downs does not try to advance there. If he did, Wagner would not throw it to first, and he would just wait there and try to get him to a rundown. And you got Tristan Casas, flew out in the second inning. He's their team's number 2 prospect, right after Downs, and ranked top 80 overall by all outlets. So he's also highly looked upon by the organization. They do have Devers in the majors, so also a decision the team will have to make once he is ready to go to the majors. That ball is fouled off 1-1. They don't really have to make the decision yet because he's still got a couple of years until that'd be Rule 5 eligible. He's only 20 years old. Downs is only 21. So you got some time, but you don't want to leave them there too long, and maybe they lose their value or they face an injury, and then you never get to see them live up to their potential, as that one is 2-1. Another one inside, 3-1, and Chad De La Guerra up next if there is a walk here or a hit. And that would have been ball 4, but fouled off by Casas. 3-2. Runner will probably not be going. It's a walk, then you could still nab the guy at third. And that one is called strike 3 on the lower part of the plate. Casas thought he was going to walk, but struck out there in disgust, holding that bat still, throw some stuff. Has to stay calm as we head to the top of the 4th. 1-0, PawSox.
Leading off for Scranton.
As Brendan Wagner steps in for his second try. He's in the lineup against righties, but against lefties he is not in the lineup until they have Rosel Herrera. Keeping in Wagner here against the righty as that ball is flown on to left, and Tendler will get under that one for the first half of the inning.
Now batting, left fielder, Ben Ruda.
Then Ruta steps in there. Been cold recently, but always can easily turn that around. It's a very streaky game, baseball. That ball is called a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-4 last game, so got a hit last game. He's not doing terrible, but still shows him as called as swung strike 2, a pretty high pitch. Way inside, ball 1 on a slider. Not sure that's where Ward wanted to throw it, but ended up almost hitting the batter actually. If he was crowding the plate like Derek here used to, maybe he does get hit. And that would have been a ball too, but hit into center field and dived, but not caught. And Ruda will go to second, and he is safe. That ball, Matheny tried to dive for it, but it got past him after he dived for it, and Ruda decided to go to second, and Duran got it, but did not fire in time, as now Jason Dominguez is up. Another opportunity for a base knock. Dominguez is a switch hitter, so you got another switch hitter, which is a very valuable skill to have. You could play either side of the plate. You don't have to platoon them, which is nice if they towards later of their career. So that ball is grounded to the second base side, and a dive, but a hit, and Ruda's going home, and he will be safe. On the line throw, but just not in time for the fast Ruda, as Dominguez with a clutch hit and 2 diving plays, and that's two just missed balls, and that's huge for the RailRiders. That changed the complexion of this inning as Ayadeta steps in. Try to get Dominguez, but he will be safe at first. Dominguez is a threat to run, second in stolen bases in the International League with 17. That ball hit to right field and deep, but will be caught by Duran for the second out of the inning.
The batter, the shortstop.
You see Ward, a little bit faster pitcher, throws in the mid-90s, which is pretty fast for a starter. Usually you see relievers throwing more than the upper 90s, with some exceptions. Hale throwing low 90s, which is about what you expected. Hale can play the relief, so you need to have some velocity usually as a reliever, unless you're a guy who kind of has some other thing, like you think of the Yankees, they have a guy, Nestor Cortez, who kind of does a lot of different deliveries and tries to fool the hitter. Anthony Volpe steps in there. That ball just outside, 1-0. See Volpe, 20 doubles, it's first in the RailRiders, and also tied for first in the International League as well. Pitch out, but no one will be going there. Dominguez stays at first. 2-0 now. Strike on a pitch a little bit high, but very appetizing for Volpe. Volpe out of Vanderbilt. The team won the national championship the year he was drafted, so I'm sure a great way to end the college career. That ball lined to the left side, but foul. 2-2 count on the 8-hitter in the RailRiders lineup. Ball, another foul ball to the right side this time. Neither of those get to a stand. The ball boy, Joe Billinson, relative of Billy Billinson, takes that one. And that ball popped into center field and will be caught by Matheny as the PawSox get out of the inning. But not before a run is scored. As we'll head to the bottom of the fourth, 1-1 game now. And a quick trivia question now. So the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders were not always the Yankees' minor league affiliate, AAA affiliate. What team were they the affiliate of before the Yankees? That ball is a strike on the lower part of the plate. Chad De La Guerra steps in. Grounded to the left side by Volpe, and on to first to fourth for the first out of the inning. Hale up to 53 pitches right now. Pretty good pace for him. Bobby Dahlbeck. First baseman for his team, but Kimmy could play first if Dahlbeck does get an off day. That ball is inside, 1-0. Grounded to Volpe and on the board, but a wild throw and pulls forward off the bag. That runner on first, an error on that play, obviously, by Volpe. He did have to run to get it, but no excuse to make it through that offline. Someone quickly answered the Columbus Clippers. I'm talking about, so Columbus Clippers were a Yankees affiliate, I believe, and I'm talking about who were the RailRiders affiliate of before. So what major league team? You got like 30 or, you got 1 in 30 something chance or whatever, as that ball is grounded foul. And Duran, a IL All-Star this year, one of several All-Stars for both teams. Just a strike on the, looks like the inside part of the plate. Not sure if it really was a strike, but called by the umpire there, 0-2. That ball will not be chased by Duran. 1-2 on a curveball. Ball grounded down the left side and just fouled. Would have possibly been a double if it was fair, but just missed the line. 1-2 now. Just outside, 2-2.
3-2.
Safe ball, 3-2. Runner probably not off, 1 out. Someone entered the Angels. Angels is not the correct answer to this trivia question. Three and 2 pitch to Duran is fouled off, and a foul ball hanging tight here. That's a 2-seam fastball, a little slower than Hale's 4-seam is thrown. Another foul ball hangs in there at 3-2. Hale up to 63 pitches on the day. And line to short, but caught by Volpe. Another action for Volpe, and kind of makes up for that earlier play. And nice play to get the second out of the inning. As Connor Wong steps in, he had the big play for the PawSox, hitting that sacrifice fly deep to center field. Probably would have been gone to another part of the park to give the PawSox a 1-0 lead. It was tied up last inning. Was tied up in the top of the 4th inning. See 5 for 15 in his last 5 games. So hitting very well recently. A check swing, but he did go 0-2. And looks over, and here's the pitch. And grounded to third to Wagner. Oh, wait, he missed it and went to the outfield. That was a weird play there. I thought Wagner was right on it, but just went past him. Tried to barehand that one, and not the smart play there. Wong is fast, but he's not that fast, and he would have had him at third without barehanding it. Now it's first and second for Matheny. A pretty good average for a 9 here, 273, and pretty good pop as well. 6 home runs, which isn't terrible. Not towards the middle of the pack on this team. The PawSox, a good team offensively, a good team defensively. Have lots of good prospects on this team as well. That ball fouled off 1-2, and Hale will have a 2-strike count with 2 outs again. Another foul ball, 2-seam fastball, and Hale let down by his defense this inning. And plainly say it, Downs had an errant throw. Wagner had a bad read. That ball is popped up to the first base side. Ford will just have enough room and will make the play right by the stands. And we head to the top of the fifth. It's a 1-1 game as Higashioka, Granite, and Wade coming up for the RailRiders.
Leading off for Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Higashioka walked in his first place appearance on 4 pitches, and it looked like Ward would be in trouble that inning, but got a double play that inning to save himself. Ball grounded to the third base side and just past Sauce and getting there for a single. Fired into second by Tendler.
The batter, the right fielder.
Celebration by Higashioka. 2 times on, and a great game for him so far. Not his usual performance. And going to raise that average a little bit, probably to the 170s maybe, as Zach Granite gets in for his 3rd time. He walked last time on 1 strike and 3 balls and 4 balls. And now looking to move over Higgy here. Higgy, affectionately known by Yankee fans. That's Higashioka's, one of his Higashioka's nicknames. That ball just outside 2-0. It seems like the umpire is calling more inside strikes than outside strikes, or like ones that were just off the plate. He'll call it inside, but not as much outside. As that one is fouled off inside there, off the inside part of the bat. And he was running, it looks like, but that one is flied to Duran, and he'll make the catch. Surprising that Higashioka is running. Probably a hidden run there.
The batter number
Or else I don't think that makes sense.
Tyler.
But flown into right and did not work out for the RailRiders that time. Wade will step in, had that big double play his last at bat, but did walk in the first inning.
Inside, ball 1.
Ball inside 1-0. You see 3 for 10 his last 3 games. And Wade did have his best season last year for the Yankees by far. Still not great numbers, but he hit in the 250s, which isn't bad for a utility guy. He had a little bit of pop. He drove in a few runs, but the Yankees do have so many good guys, and there's so many good infielders as well with Andujar returning, especially that Wade ends up in the minors. But I could see him, when they expand the roster a little bit, him being called up. If it's an injury, him being called up. He's been pretty good this season, as Higashioka goes again. Maybe another hidden run and swing by Wade, but fouled off. Interesting decision, because if you miss it, Higashioka is a dead duck. That ball grounded to the right side and gets through the infield for a hit. Dalbeck had an opportunity, Gallagher had an opportunity, just gets through. Nice piece of hitting there by Wade. As Mike Ford gets up, he could make it 4-1 here with 1 swing of the bat. And he hits it deep to right field. And just misses a home run. Oh man, so close to making that 4-1. I almost willed it into existence, but I did not there. It's now just 0-1. High 1-1. 3 runs scored in his last 2 games. So the RailRiders middle of the lineup, still in the Yankees, have drove him in recently. As a double steal there, and it's flown on to left. And another stolen base attempt not working, and deep, but caught just against the wall by Tendler. But for a second, that might end up hitting the wall, but Ford not able to get it deep enough in the opposite field. And 2 big swings, 2 far swings, but just an out to show for it as Wagner steps in for his 3rd at-bat of the game. Pitch on the outside part of the plate, strike 1. Ward up over 70 pitches, not sure how much longer he'll go. due to the All-Star break, PawSox basically have all their relievers available, so they could bullpen for a little while. They have enough guys. 0-2 now on Wagner. That pitch grounded to third. PawSox will take it and fire on Dahlbeck for the final out of the inning. The RailRiders give a scare to the PawSox, but nothing to show for it as we head to the bottom of the fifth.
Leading up for the
As
PawSox,
Luke Tendler steps in, a third time around for these PawSox.
Tendler.
If no one answered it, the answer to my trivia question was the Philadelphia Phillies. It kind of makes sense. They're in the area. That until 2007, I believe, 2006, it was the Phillies affiliate, and then the Yankees got it as their AAA affiliate. The Yankees have a lot of minor league teams though, so I don't know if they have a second AAA, but I know they have multiple teams in the different levels of minor leagues. That pitch in there for a strike. Another strike just in the zone. Strike two.
One ball, two strikes.
1-2. And Tendler, as you see, Chad Bettis and Luis Sessa, the RailRiders' two long relievers warming up. Lost to the long relievers in this game. Bettis, an all-star in this season, so he's had great. Plus, surprisingly no appearances. Had suffered from injuries, I believe, and may have been on the big league roster for a little bit as that pitch 2-2. And Tendler has pretty great numbers. His home runs are tied for 7th. His RBIs tied for 11th. His 21 doubles, which is 4th. 44 runs, which is 5th. As that pitch is hit into center field, pretty deep, but Dominguez will get it on the track for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, the shortstop, Jeter. Down.
As Jeter Downs steps in, and Jeter, a very familiar sounding name to any Yankee fan or any baseball fan really, who's not very young. Jeter Downs is named after Derek Jeter, one of the greatest shortstops in history, one of the greatest Yankees in history, and going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame now next year because this year's one was canceled, but elected with all but one vote. We still don't know who didn't vote for him, and we may never know. Hopefully we do eventually, so we could write articles criticizing him and tweet criticizing them, but it's anonymous. You're allowed to be anonymous, and that person was who didn't vote for Jeter. Probably for good reason, honestly, as that pitch inside, 2-1. Grounded up to second base, and Wade will take it and throw it on to fourth with second out of the inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Josh Ockamy.
As Josh Ockamy steps in again. Only got a miss for a strike. Set 2 doubles and 6 RBIs in the last 7 games. Very impressive for Ockamy. Popped to third base side, and Wagner will get under that one and take it and run back into the dugout. As we get to the top of the 6th, still a 1-1 score as 5, 6, and 7 up for the RailRiders.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the PawSox.
Tanner Huck into the game for the PawSox. Didn't see him warming up before. That makes sense. He is their long reliever. And great season for him. Tied 6-3. He has the 5th most innings pitched in the league, which is rare for a long reliever. 3.09 ERA, 135 whip. Great velocity for him. That's what you got to look for out of him. And a 10th ranked Sox prospect as well. But you see 5 runs scored the last 5 games. A lot of guys, the RailRiders have scored a lot of runs recently, so it makes sense that all these guys have runs. Pitch high, 2-0. Houck not doing great coming out of the bullpen as Kevin Lennox and Jeffrey Springs warming up for the PawSox, a righty and a lefty. hit down the line, but wow. And Hauk, he was on the U.S. team in the 2019 WBSC Premier 12, and that is used to qualify for the Olympics, and the USA finished 4th. They do have a lot of competitors in the international stage. They got Japan, got South Korea, got the Dominican Republic, got a lot of teams. Even Canada has some good players, but not at USA level. All of them, as he strikes out his first batter. Strikes out Ruda, and we start for Hauk. As Jason Dominguez steps in again, 1 for 2 on the day. High ball 1. Dominguez drove in an RBI. He hit that ball just between the first and second baseman, the perfect spot, and was able to drive in the very speedy Ruda. Dominguez, a International League All-Star, a rising star. He's pretty young. He was drafted. He was signed not only a few years ago at a very young age, so he's on a meteoric rise, nicknamed the Martian. It's just how out of this world he is. As that kid called a strike. Looks a little bit inside, but now 3-1. One pop to the left side. Wong will try to get it, and he dives, and he just misses. That would have been a really nice play there by Wong, but just now a 3-2 count. Out looking for a second strikeout here, and looks like Dominguez let the umpire won't even check with third or first, and just call himself 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Hauk. Chris Ioneta's up, struck out and blew out this game.
Ball 1.
Pitch low, ball 1, and you see all the teams Clipper. Angels, Seattle, Arizona, Colorado. His best season, his prime was kind of the late 2000s. He was actually able to, he hit a good amount of home runs as that one's popped foul, but catcher cannot get that one. Ioneta, that season he was on Team USA in the 2009 World Baseball Classic. He's never made an All-Star team, but he was good enough that year where that was probably his best year before that, and he was able to make that team, and I don't think that team won, but still a great collection of talent overall, and I'm sure he's very happy that he made it. As that pitch looked inside, but call strike, 2-2 count now on Ioneta. Hauk 1 strike away from striking out the side. And swung on a miss, strikes out the side. Hauk 3 up, 3 down. Great appearance by him, maybe even pitching next inning due to his stamina. And we head to the bottom of the 6th, 1-1 game. The games we have later, we have the Durham Bulls and the Norfolk Tides, and he'll be Key Mr. 3 and Jaden Becker calling that. Got Giants Dodgers at 9. I believe May's pitching for the Dodgers. I'm not sure who's pitching for the Giants. Maybe Cueto. And I believe at BotBall at night, we have Toledo Mudheads against the Louisville Bats. That's Justin Rock and Carlos Zimmerman on the call. And then the Giants Dodgers is Cookie Eater 45 and Special FX. As that ball is hit into center field, and that will be caught by Dominguez as Chad Bettis enters the game. Bettis, the guy who's also been around the league a lot, another former Rocky, 72 on the year, 93 in his pitch, 59 strikeouts, a 250 RA, and a 127 WHIP. Great season all around for the Rockies, 2013 to 2019. He mostly goes to 4-seam and change, but he'll also throw a slider and curve, and I guess he also has a sinker, but I don't think he's going to throw it today.
0-1.
He signed a minor league contract with the Yankees this offseason. That ball is strike 1 to De La Guerra. De La Guerra 1 for 2 on the day.
Ball, that's inside.
Inside of 1-1, as you see Dan Otero and James Reed warming up a righty and a lefty. Both teams warming up those. Since it's not warming up anymore, I don't think they'll need to use him unless this game goes extras.
2 balls, 1
Low and inside, 2-1 on the slider.
That's ball 3.
3-1. Bobby Dahlbeck on deck. Fouled off to the left side, 3-2. Three-two is swung to the right side and diving by Granite, but not able to get it. And Chad De La Guerra wins the battle of the Chads and gets a 1-out hit. Smoke off the bat. 3-2 pitch. You kind of want to throw a strike as Bettis, but didn't have to there. Try to get him chasing. Now you got a guy on first. Dahlbeck up. And De La Guerra has speed as they just pitch out as I say that. Thought maybe De La Guerra was going. De La Guerra can steal a bag. Doesn't have a lot of skills in the season, but he does have good speed, so it's just maybe not the situations where he's needed to or wanted to. As that one is fouled off there. Dahlbeck 2 home runs in his last 6 games. It's grounded to Wagner, but a wild throw. Defense letting down the RailRiders again, and that throw is not in time to first. An error by Wagner. Wagner's second bad play of the day. He also had that misplayed ball, but not called an error. Then he got first and second for Duran, and RailRiders defense just letting him down. That would have been a double play to end the inning, and now you got first and second, 1 out. That ball is hit into the left side and out of play. 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs in his last game before the break. That one is through for a base hit, and there will be a play at the plate. No, there won't be, as he is safe, and the PawSox take a 2-1 lead. De La Guerra scoring on that play. See that ball hit, line drive over the middle of the field, and Dominguez tried to get him, but it was cut off by Bettis and Price and thrown to home, but not in time as Wong steps in. Ball high, 1-0. That run will not be unearned as there was only 1 out. There were 2 outs, even though you could think it would have been an all play. There were 2 outs, it would have been unearned, but it is an earned run because 1 out, so that you assume the error only cost them 1 out. I believe so. Although there would have been no runners on second, you assume he gets the 4th out. Either way, 2-1 for the PawSox, and now 2-0 on Wong. That ball crushed to the left field side, but just foul. Would have been a double there if it was fair. 2-1, a loud first strike. That one swung on a miss, 2-2. Bettis trying to get at this inning. Almost was out a few batters ago, but an error by Wagner and a single. And now it's a 2-1 game as we're to 3-2 now. Matheny on deck. And we'll have the top of the PawSox lineup. Gotta say long reliever, but you wonder how long he'll get kept in there. Bettis was an all-star this year. That ball grounded to short, and Volpe to Wade to Ford, and a picture-perfect double play. The one that should have been made before this inning, but gets out of it. Bettis gets out of it as you got 8-9-1 up for the RailRiders, and the PawSox up 2-1, heading into the 7th. Anthony Volpe up 0 for 2 with a flyout and a lineout on the day.
The shortstop, Anthony Volpe.
Out in there for a second inning work. He struck out the side last inning, but probably will get pulled by the PawSox manager Billy McMillan if he gets into trouble. McMillan, interestingly, in the IL Hall of Fame, but he's still managing. It's kind of weird. Usually you don't have an active guy in the Hall of Fame for a league he's in, but he was put in the Hall of Fame before he became manager of this team. He's still working with the team, though, as a coach. That ball outside, 2-0. I'm gonna miss 2-1, high and outside that pitch. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Hauk has decent speed on his pitches. Fastball hit into the short outfield by the second base and caught by De La Guerra.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Kyle Higashioka.
You can see pitch info there. That pitch was just on the plate. High and outside, 96 mile per hour, a pretty fast pitch. Hard to get around, especially in AAA. Maybe not used to that speed as much, even though the game is speeding up. Higashioka steps in. A great game for him so far. A single and a walk. Looking to maybe get another clutch hit for this team here. That pitch is a strike. That one, same location. And a strike. 0-2. Higashioka behind. Higgy is trilingual. He can speak English, speak Spanish, and Japanese, which is very helpful that Yankees have a Japanese-speaking pitcher in Masahiro Tanaka, and they have a lot of Spanish players as well. So being able to communicate with them, even if it's not perfectly, definitely is helpful for a catcher, rather than having to try to communicate in different ways. That ball is outside. 2-2. Rounded foul. Looked like may have been a strike, may have been a ball, but you got to protect here if you're Higashioka. That one fouled. I guess like last time, after this at bats, I'll probably sing taking out the ball game unless Shark is around. That one hit pretty high and pretty deep, but that will be foul. Left fielder Hendler didn't even make an effort on that one. He knew it was going to be foul off the bat. 2-2 pitch from Hauk. And swung on and missed right down the middle, but I guess you can maybe looking for something else as it's Hauk's fourth strikeout in only inning and 2/3 innings of work. Higashioka frustrated, throws his bat in the air and having a good day, but you want to come through for your team. It's late in the game, you're down 1. Probably his last at bat of the game, unless Scranton can get some runners on, as the top lineup comes up for the 4th time today. That pitch is a ball, 1-0. That one fell, 1-1. Hauk up to 30 pitches, but he is a long reliever. He can pitch this long. Probably his last inning. Probably will put in. PawSox probably put in another guy next inning. It'll be the 8th inning. Change up, swung on and missed. 1-2.
That's ball 2.
Just missed. 2-2. Granite laying off that one. That one swung on and missed. Hauk's 5th strikeouts in just 2 innings. Head to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Here, left my voice on part of that. As it's 0-2 to Tate Matheny. That one inside, but fought off by Matheny. And that is in for his second inning of work. Gave a run last inning, but partially due to some defensive struggles. That one outside, 1-2. Another one outside, 2-2. A slider. And all the minor leagues and the major leagues coming off their all-star breaks, so players a little bit more fresh, except for those playing in the all-star game. But even so, they had a few days off. It's nice to have that in the middle of the season, playing so many games in so few days. That ball's hit down the right side, but just foul. Would have been a double if it landed. 2-2 count. Another foul ball, 2-2 the count remains. Another foul ball, fighting him off here, 2-2 again. And for both of these teams, trade deadline a little bit different. Yankees definitely buying, looking for a relief pitcher and third baseman, while the Sox, we don't know, but they are doing something with hitting, as strikeout there of Matheny. Bettis' first strikeout on the day. Swung over it, Matheny did. Top the lineup out for the fourth time for the PawSox. Chandler fouls that one off. One pitches, fouled off again. 0-2. That is almost up to 30 pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
High, 1-2. Probably not where Bettis was aiming that, but ball nonetheless. One fouled off, 1-2. One hit into right field for a base hit. One out hit for Chandler. And yeah, he got the middle lineup up. The PawSox might spell trouble for Bettis here. He's down 10 of walk, and he stole a base last time. Easily got there. This one is hit into right field. Granite will get under that one and get it for the second out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Josh Ockamy.
Josh Ockamy up again, a lefty for them. And you see a lot of lefty play first base, so it makes sense that his position is first. But he does throw righty, so it's kind of weird. But that lefty throwing righty, I'm not sure which is his dominant hand, but can do both nonetheless. I wonder if he could possibly switch hit later in the future if he learns it, because of the fact that he does do it both sides, just one way in the field, one way hitting. Pitch up high, 2-0. That is pitch swung on a miss. 2-1. Strike, and Ockamy tried to hold up, but was not able to there, and called the strike by the home plate umpire. The 2-2, 2 outs, and that is outside, so Tendler will be off and running on this pitch. And the pitch is fouled off on that 3-2. We'll go again. Three and 2 pitch, called strike 3, and Bettis will get out of the inning despite the 1-out hit. And we head to the top of the 8th, 2-1 here. We'll see who the PawSox put in. Had a few guys warming up. 2 errors. The RailRiders in the day. As Brian Johnson in there, a guy who can start, he can relieve. And you can see his numbers, a 1.61 ERA, incredible. 24 games. He did start on the Red Sox a few seasons ago due to a lot of starter injuries, but their staff is relatively healthy, so Johnson down in the minors right now as Wade gets in for his 4-6, as that ball's hit deep into right and just caught at the wall. Oh, gave it a ride there, but Duran does make a play at the wall. You see the starting pitcher lines, 5 innings pitched for both of them, both 1 run, both 1 earned. 4 hits given up by Hale, 5 by Ward, 1 walk by Hale, 3 walks by Ward, and 3 strikeouts by Hale. So not a lot of strikeouts for either of them, and not a lot of walks. So lots of balls in play. So a lot of it comes down to fielding. The Pawtucket's fielding has been better overall, and there have been a few diving plays also that have changed the complexion of this game, but right now PawSox have a lead as Ford a violent swing, maybe trying to get another one hit like last at bat, or just missed a home run, but swing and a miss for a strike.
That's a ball.
Ball 1-1. You see 16,000 fans in attendance. That's Kyle Hart, the PawSox closer, and Colton Brewer, guy who's been in the majors and the minors, also in ramp. He's another setup guy. Pitch fouled off, 1-2. And Johnson, from a pretty athletic family. He was the 31st pick of the 2012 draft. So he's a guy they had a lot of expectations for the Red Sox. Maybe not living up to expectations, but still contributing to the big league team when needed. That pitch fouled off, still 1-2. That one hit and get through for a base hit. De La Guerra not able to get it despite being shifted over, and Ford has a 1-out single.
The third baseman, number
Ford trying to pump up his team. They need a spark here as Wagner needs to make up for his error. Call a strike. And Johnson, his main pitch is actually top pitch to the curve. He doesn't throw a fastball very fast, so it kind of makes sense. He's relying on the curveball. He also has a slider. May throw a sinker or change, but it's unlikely. He's more of a three-pitch guy. The curveball, the four-seam, and the slider. That one is fouled off, 1-2. That one hit into center field, but Zini will get under that one. And 2 outs in the inning. Wagner not able to make up for his error on this at-bat, and probably his final at-bat game unless the RailRiders somehow managed to tie it up. As Ben Ruda up, he had a double, and he had a run. And that one was one that was dived for and missed, and he ended up getting a double due to that, and ended up scoring another dive that missed. That pitch in there, strike one. See that fastball in the 80s for Johnson. Maybe he can get above 90 once in a while, but more about control, more about his breaking stuff. That pitch just misses 1-1. And obviously being a lefty helps. Lefty, very deceptive for a lot of batters. That pitch is fouled off. Hit high, but hit foul. 1-2 count. Johnson trying to get out of this. And the pitch is hit foul again to the left field stands. And that ball is grounded, and Johnson will take it himself on a nice play and throw it on Dahlbeck and gets out of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and it is a 2-1 in the PawSox favor. Tristan Casas up.
The third baseman.
No hits on the day, but can change that with one swing here. As Bettis in for his 3rd inning of work. A little bit of a surprising decision for Davis. You got all of your relievers. I mean, you're down by 1, but still want to keep it close. Bettis hasn't exactly coasted through his innings. He's given up even the 1st inning where he gave up a run. He had already given up a hit before. As that down 3-0. Chad De La Guerra on deck. De La Guerra almost at 300. Maybe he'll get to that by the end of the series, as this is the first game of a 3-game set. That pitch in there for a strike, 3-1. And grounded to second base, and Wade will barehand that and fire to first for the first out. That is up to 45 pitches. He could start. He's been able to start before. As you see, Wade goes in, knows don't want to risk it for the biscuit, and onto the infield, but fires right away onto first. And which just shows Wade's a great fielder. His hitting stuff in the majors just needs to catch up. He was as good a hitter as he was a fielder or base runner. He'd be a superb player of the league. Just that the hitting hasn't caught up, and it's hard to deal with that, especially when you have a limited amount of pinch hitters. That pitch in there for a strike to De La Guerra. De La Guerra 2 for 3 on the day. In there, strike swinging. Bettis also doesn't throw a lot of fast pitches.
No, that's low.
That pitch low, ball 1. Bettis, his fastball can go into the low 90s, but that one you saw was upper 90s. He has to change, he has a slider, and he has a curve. That pitch swung on and missed, a low pitch in the dirt, and Ainetta throws to fourth, and that'll be a second out of the bottom of the 8th. RailRiders will get their last slicks coming up, and got the middle of the lineup, or about the middle of the lineup, but hasn't seemed to get much going offensively. As you see, nice throw on to first. It's always difficult for a catcher, because if you hit the runner, you mess it up. But these catchers are trained, they're pros, they know how to do it. Something I struggled with catcher definitely was after a strike I dropped, throwing it onto first. As that pitch is swung on and hit into right field, and Granite will make the play to get out of the inning. Bettis pitches 3, gives up 1, and we head to the top of the 9th. We got Dominguez, Ainetta, and Volpe. The RailRiders, their last chance to tie it up.
Your attention, please.
The Kyle Hart, PawSox closer, 10 games in the season. So not pitched a lot, but 9 out of 10 on saves. .93 ERA, outstanding. 12 strikeouts, 4 walks. So not a great sample size to judge him, but based on what you've seen, he's pretty good. Hart has a 4-seam, not very fast, but he has a cutter also, a rather at speed, a curveball, and a changeup. Inside to Dominguez, 1-0. Hart also is a 9th round pick in 2016, so he's kind of defying expectations, being up to AAA. And before the season, he was mostly a starter, so now in a new role. Same as Brian Johnson, kind of in a new role. As that one is inside, ball 2. Dominguez, I'm sure, will be happy for a walk here. Gives him a chance to be driven in by a couple of nice hitters. In there for a strike, 2-1. And that ball is hit pretty well, but it will be caught on the warning track by Tendler. Gave it a ride, almost tied the game, but just allowed out number 1. As Ainetta steps in 0 for 3 on the game. And only 18 at-bats this season, so even though his numbers aren't great, that's a very small sample size. Called strike 1. Or with a little bit of a sidearm-ish delivery. Not like a guy like Darren O'Day or Pat Nisha, but not exactly over the top. That pitch hits him. Just hit him. I don't think that's where he wanted it, but inside and catch nicks the foot of Ainetta, and we got a runner on. We'll see if they pitch hit for him. You got a catcher on the bench. You got Geshuk who can slot in that position. You got a lot of guys. Maybe Estrada pinch runs, but it looks like they will not. And Volpe with a key at bat here. 0 for 3 on the day, but has had some big hits this season. Hart looking to shake off the hit batter.
Nope, ball 1.
That pitch high, 1-0. Low, ball 1. Sorry, ball 2. Will be a changeup. Will be probably waiting for a strike to be thrown by Hart. No, he is not. He swings at that one and foul, and Duran not able to get to that one. Not sure if the PawSox are warming anyone up in case Hart gets into trouble. I think they're going to leave it to Hart here to get out of this one. As that pitch is hit into right field, and a diving play and caught by Duran. A nice play, a big play. Not sure if that would have been fair, but second out of the inning, and that's huge in the ninth inning with already a guy at first. He sliced off the end of the bat. Duran knew he had to dive right off the bat, and with a outstanding play, a web gem there. And first diving play we've seen work. We've seen the 3 or 4 ones, and it's finally worked out. As Higashioka is the last hope. He actually did get another at bat, surprisingly. That pitch is outside. 1-0. Pitch inside, 2-0. Higashioka gets on. You got the top of the lineup up for the RailRiders. Another one high, 3-0. Higashioka probably going to take here. Already walked once today. Brandon on deck. Still surprised they haven't pinch run for Ayaneta yet, but I guess that's what they decided. They wanted to keep him in the game. Didn't want to waste the bench yet. As that pitch just in half, 3-1. Could have been called the ball, but umpire gives it to Hart. Higashioka had a hit, and then he had a strikeout, which he was very upset by last at bat. (3-1) outside, and Higashioka works a walk. Granite now has a chance to drive in a run, possibly even driving a go-ahead run if he hits into the gap. And Hart laboring out there, and you have to wonder that diving catch. Not sure if that would have been fair, but if it was fair and he misses that, then you have probably a run scored, maybe, or you have it bases loaded right now for Granite. And 1 out as well, so you have a little bit more flexibility and you get a fly ball and still score a run. That pitch in there for a strike. Granite not great with runners in scoring position, but anytime he can turn that around, he has a chance here. It's a big game for them because you lose a game on the PawSox get even closer. So that pitch in there, strike 2. RailRiders down to their last strike of the game. The 0-2 pitch is hit into left field, and that will drop. And Ayaneta is going home, and he will be safe. And the RailRiders tied up on a clutch hit by Granite. Just dropped in front of Tendler. I thought that may have been caught maybe a diving or sliding play, but Granite with the clutch hit, and now lone save by Hart. And he still has to get Wade out here, and Wade's had an excellent game, so not an easy task here as you see Lennox and Domingo Tapia warming up. Lennox won the earliest game as Wade hits it to the center field, and right under that is Matheny, and he will make the catch, but not before the RailRiders tie it up. RailRiders tie it up 2-2, and the PawSox will have a chance to walk it off in the bottom of their lineup. Going ML BotBall. See who the RailRiders bring in here. A lot of choices. They only use Bettis out of bullpen, as they keep Bettis in here. Very surprising move. You have it tied up, and it's 4th inning work. You have Dan Otero and Luis Avilon, the RailRiders closer, warming up, but surprisingly keep Bettis in here. He can get walked off on it. You see the lefty Avilon, and you see Otero warming up. They're more of a middle reliever, but he did make the All-Star game. He's had a great season. 0-1 to Duran is outside 1-1. See, Ayaneta stayed in. They decided to keep him in, and he was able to make it home on that play. A little bit lucky, as that ball bunted by Duran. He is fast, but not fair, and I don't think he's going to bunt again. Just tried to get the defense snapping. That ball low, 2-2. And Duran 2 for 3 on the day. I'm a little bit surprised he tried to bunt for a hit when he's been putting good wood on the ball. But this time he pops it up to the infield, and Ragnar will come running in and make the play. Calls off Ayaneta. That is already up to 55 pitches. The RailRiders have used him a lot. 93 innings pitched is a lot for a long reliever. More than some starters in this league. And he's succeeded well, but still a little bit surprising they kept him in for a fourth, as that pitch was high, 1-0. Another one low, 2-0 on a fastball. And Wong 1 for 2 on the day. He had an RBI. He has a hit. Two guys in the bottom lineups coming through for both teams. That foul off on a fastball. 2-1. Another foul ball. Change up. And the count will go to 2-2. And that one hit far and deep, but right in front of the warning track. Rudo will get that one. Gave it a ride, but not far enough to walk it off. And 2 outs in the inning. That is fourth inning work. I'd be shocked if he gets out of this inning and they pitch him for a 10th, but I was surprised they pitched him after 2 innings. So you never know. They may go a 5th as Tate Matheny's up. And he hits him. Not what you want there. With the top of the lineup now up. Beanie not happy walking to first, but I don't think it was intentional, but probably hit right by the elbow pad. Didn't hit the elbow well, but now a 2-out runner. And Luke Tendler up again. That one is hit to right field and deep. Scranton under it, and he gets it at the wall. Another one almost gone, but just a loud 3rd out, and we head to the extras. It's extras time. 2-2 game, and the middle of the RailRiders lineup up.
Leading off for Scranton,
Mike Ford steps in at a few pretty high drives. His Hart remains in for a second, and despite him for a run last inning, surprising decision by McMillan. You got the entire bullpen. You had 2 guys warming up. You had Tapia warming up, and you had Lennox warming up. So a little bit surprising here. You can't get a save anymore, but remains in, and 1-1 on Ford. That pitch is grounded and hits off the pitcher, but Ford is slow, so Hart still gets him at first. 1 out. See if they check in on him. It looks like it hit somewhere by his hand, but it looks like he'll stay out there as Wagner steps in. Still looking to make up for that error and that misplay. The error did cost his team a run. Pitch outside, 1-0.
At the ball.
2-0, high and inside. And if you were watching earlier today, the Syracuse Mets did win, so they closed the PawSox wild card lead. So it's big in 2 ways this game. One for the wild card and one for Scranton. We'll see how the Red Wings do later today. They are one of our later games, as that pitch is grounded at second. A nice stretch by De La Guerra, and gets the runner out at first. Gets Wagner out. Wagner 1 for 5 on the day. He extends. He knows he has time for Wagner. Wagner not too fast, and it's just a short throw. Gets him for the 2nd out. Probably Hart's last inning, but you never know. Maybe he'll go 3. There's some weird decisions by these managers. As Ruda steps in.
Ball 1.
And Ruda first in the International League in triples with 7, and he's also tied for 8th in hits. Definitely overachieved as a 30th round draft pick, as that pitch is swung on a miss for 1-1. And we're also able to spray to all field, so I don't think they're going to shift on him unless he starts becoming more of a pull hitter.
No, that's bad.
That one is low, 2-1. Hart almost up to 30 pitches. Probably not going to be able to pitch tomorrow. Maybe able to pitch the third game, but we'll have to see. That one is hit hard, but foul down the right field side. 2-2 count to Ruda. And that one is swung on a miss. Hart gets pretty easily through his second inning of work. And now we head to the bottom of the 10th. PawSox with another chance to walk it off with the 2, 3, and 4 hitter up. A perfect opportunity for them. Not sure if the PawSox have any traditions for walking up. I know some teams have like pie, or they have Gatorade. Not sure if the PawSox have any, but we'll have to see if they are able to walk it off. Pitch high, and Bettis in there again. I'm not sure why he's still in there. He's pitching. He's going to be pitching as many innings as a starter if he gets out of this one, and he's a relief pitcher. He's not supposed to be stretched out for this, but I guess after the break, the manager's like, we could pitch him much more. As that one is lined to right for a single. Down, starts off the inning right. Got to see how long Davis has a leash on Bettis. In his 5th inning of work, he hasn't exactly gone through these innings clean. Given up a hitter most innings, and Akimi up. Pitch swung on a miss for a strike. You did have 2 guys warming up last inning. You had Alvilon warming up, and you had Otero. I'm not sure if they're both still in the pen. Assume if it's a hit here, they probably put in another guy, but Bettis still in, maybe going for the long game, in case this does go 18. And that ball is popped up and not caught, but able to get the runner at, able to get down to second because Downs had to wait to see if that was caught by Bettis. Now 1 out. Broken bat hit. It looked like it was going to drop right away, but I guess Downs and the first base coach didn't have as good of a read. As Tristan Casas gets up 0 for 4 on the day. That pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Casas wasn't even higher than A+ or high A before this year, so a little bit surprised to see him on the AAA roster, but having a good season despite the elevated competition. That one is hit into the air into right field, and Granite will get under that one and record the second out of the inning.
Now batting.
Another thing quickly, just the fact that Bettis was able to didn't catch that ball, you have a slower runner on first, so Ball McGett might not necessarily score Akimi, where it probably would score Downs. Downs is much faster than Akimi. Akimi not slow, but you kind of prefer to have Downs at first, and De La Guerra gets up. Pitch in there for a strike. Bettis already up to 70 pitches. If he's in for a next inning of work, I don't know what to say. He's already pitched. This is his 5th inning. As that pitch is hit into right field, but right to Granite, and he will record the out. And Bettis for his 5th inning of work with 70 pitches. We head to the 11th inning. 6, 7, 8 up for the RailRiders. And just a reminder, you're raising money this week for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to providing advocacy, education, support, and public awareness that all individuals and families affected by mental illness can build better lives. As we see a new pitcher in there for the PawSox, Kevin Lennox in the game. He's on independent league teams twice, but now in the AAA team for the PawSox, so a comeback story we can call it. That pitch in there for a strike. Interestingly, he quit baseball, and then he played football as a tight end in high school, but then his grades were too low for football, so he decided to play baseball. So hopefully he did get his grades back up to be able to still play in school, but he didn't even pitch till his senior year, so him being a pitcher, a little bit surprising, but he has pretty good velocity, so he can strike out guys. He has 63 strikeouts in only 49 innings. As that pitch is high, ball one. Jason Dominguez up again.
The count is 2-1.
Pitch is low, ball two. Swung and hit up the middle for a base hit. Dominguez with a leadoff single and great speed. Maybe you'll see a hit and run. This was a part of the lineup that did score their second run. Dominguez pumped up, makes a little bit of a loop to the dugout as you see line drive up the middle. Nice solid hit to get. See Jeffrey Springs, Domingo Tapia in the bullpen for the PawSox, but Atlantic has to pitch at least 3 batters before they even can think of putting someone in. Ionetta swings and misses. He got hit by a pitch, which started the team's rally. He got hit by a pitch, and then you had Higashioka was able to get on, and then you had Granite with the big hit. Pitch is low, 1-1. Atlantic can throw in the mid-90s with his fastball. A lot of velocity here, as I said earlier. So looking to blow it by Ionetta, but Ionetta does have that big league experience. He's used to these fast pitches. Although when he started, pitchers couldn't go that fast. It was a guy like CC. He's able to pitch in the mid-90s, which made him so successful. Now, a lot of starting pitchers can do that. Think of Syndergaard, you think of DeGrom, you think of a lot of aces. They could throw in the high 90s. That pitch is fouled off by Ionetta. Ionetta pitch is catching a lot of innings, so you can get a rest day tomorrow. You don't want to put too much burn on the catcher because they need those days off because they're squatting all game, and I'm sure that's a big workout for the muscles. One, two here to the catcher. And that one hit up the middle and through for a base hit down. Not able to get to that one. First and second, no outs. RailRiders threatening here.
Now batting, the shortstop, Anthony Volpe.
Has to be happy if you were doing a hit and run. That's a double play, or at least one out because there'd be a guy trying to cover second. So it worked out there, and now you got Anthony Volpe up. He flew out in the 9th. Wasn't able to keep the rally going, but luckily his teammates after him picked up. Swung on in this, a hittable pitch, but Volpe misses. As you see the PawSox dugout, you see their manager, Billy McMillan. And he did play 8 years in the MLB, but it's only second year managing. He may have managed them before, but I know he was just a coach of them at least before this managerial stint. Because that one is fouled off to 0-2. And the pitch is hit into left field, and Hedler will go on and get it, and no tag up for Dominguez, and one out. A hit nice, but we're in position, and doesn't make sense to make the second out there. He would have been pretty far out, Dominguez, by his speed, as Higashioka looking to come through again. On one, and just a quick recap. The PawSox scored a run on a long fly ball. Then the RailRiders tied it up in the top of the fourth inning. And then the PawSox got a run. It largely aided by an error, but also a couple of hits off Chad Bettis. And then in the top of the 9th, got a score run as that ball is hit to short. It's Stephenson, De La Guerra, and on to Dalbeck for the double play. A big double play there for Lennox as we head to the bottom of the 11th. See if Bettis is back in there, but 6, 7, 8 up for the PawSox. And after this, we got he missed for 3. And Jaden Becker calling Durham Bulls against the Norfolk Tides. As Bettis in there again, his 6th inning of work. Not sure what the manager is thinking. Maybe he's going to be in the starting rotation after this. He's pitching so many pitches, but out there, and you got to be right here. He's pitching more than he expected him to. It's in extra, so 1 home run and it's over. That pitch inside, 1-1. Ball high, 2-1. We're gonna miss 2-2. And Lennox maybe in there for a second inning of the PawSox if there is a 12th. As that pitch called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate and low, but hits the corner. That is his 4th strikeout of the day, and all that not very happy about that, but just has to go walk back to the dugout. Jaron Duran in here. 2 for 4 on the day. I believe he tried to bunt last at bat, surprisingly. 2 singles and an RBI. He is the guy who drove in the run in the, I believe it was the 6th inning. I think that is his 1st inning of work. 1-1 now. High, 2-1, just missed it. Outside, 3-1 behind, and Connor Wong up on deck. Three and 1 here to Duran. That is already almost up to 80 pitches. Not sure how many the starter hailed through, but getting close to that. He loses Duran here and walks him. Now the winning run is on first base. Connor Wong up. Wong 1 for 3 with a RBI flyout and also a single, which raised his average a little bit. He came today with a .260 batting average. A pitch out there, but nothing doing there for Duran. Duran does have speed. You see it 79 speed, so he could swipe the bag, but not going there. Strike 1 on the lower part of the plate, kind of close to the middle. Swung on a miss, 1 and 2. And I just realized if it gets to the 14th or 15th, I'll probably have to do another 7th inning stretch, which should be fun. Hopefully it doesn't get to there. 1 and 2 pitch is hit to the right side and fair. And see if he goes. Let's see if Duran goes, and he'll stay at third, but a double by Connor Wong, and they're threatening. 1 out, a fly ball will probably score Duran. The ball just there down the line. And nice throw by Granite, though, getting it right in so that he can score. And finally, better step of the game is you see Dan Artero, an all-star for the team, a .75 ERA, absolutely outstanding. And 59 innings pitched. He's been around the league 8 seasons with Giants, Athletics, and Indians. And in the MLB, he was 22-8 with a .339 ERA, but he did struggle last year for Cleveland. Got a sinker, he's also got changeup, a slider, and a four-seam. Sinker is primary pitch. He can actually throw it a little bit faster than his four-seam most times. Cleveland did decline their club option, which already struggled for them. And Cleveland's also trying to save money, so I'm sure they're not going to pay a lot of money. And Artero ended up signing a minor league deal with the Yankees. Inside 1-0. With the 200 average running scoring distance. But as we saw earlier with Granite, those numbers, he needs something that's not that much to still get that clutch hit. He doesn't even need to get a hit here. He could just fly ball, or even a ground ball may score a run. That ball hit to third, and thrown onto first by Wagner. Didn't look like the defense was flying in, but because it was hit to third and almost caught off the line, that he had to dive back to first. Duran. So now you got Luke Tendler up to try to drive in the winning run here. Needs a hit, maybe even a wild pitch. Pretty big backstop here. Pitch low, ball one. Going on foul, 1-1. That ball hit into left field, and fair ball, and he'll walk it off here. Luke Tendler with a fly ball down the line, and just fair for the walk-off ground rule double. And the PawSox take the first game of this series. It looks like Davis is not very happy. Not sure if it's about the pitching or about it being called fair, but the PawSox walk it off here in the 11th and gets the win. You see Wong ends up being the player of the game, had an RBI and also had a clutch double in this inning. Very deserving candidate for that, and a low scoring game, but a big game there for the PawSox. Cuts down the lead in that division to only 3 games, as you see Wong, a couple of nice base knocks. That double was in the final inning. One run batted in, a 1.150 OPS. Wong raising stats this season, maybe gets moved up in the lineup. And Duran scored the game-winning run. Kevin Lennox with the win, 5-2 on the season. Chad Bettis lost. It wasn't inherited runners, 7-3 on the year. Final line score: Scranton 2-9-2, Pawtucket 3-10-0. Here from Riverboat Field, here on ML BotBall.
Stands our final line score. First for the victorious Pawtucket Red Sox. 3 runs on 10 hits, no errors. They left 10
That
on
is
base.
pitched into the 6th inning of work and did not able to get through that.
2 runs, 9 hits.
Hit a couple of guys with 2 hits, and
11 men
Dominguez had 2 hits for the RailRiders and also an RBI. And we'll have a second game of the series tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be called here, but an exciting game nonetheless.
We remind you to please.
As we look at the highlights of this game, you see Wong with a deep fly ball to center, and almost got out of there, but did not. But still scored a run. And it was a very nice play by Dominguez on that one. Easy run score, not even a play at the plate. And then Jason Dominguez with a ground ball down the right side and just past the second baseman for a fair ball, and run scored on that one. And then in the bottom of the 6th, after an error by third baseman Wagner, a single up the middle and scored a run. And then Volpe with a fly out to right field. And that was a big diving play by Duran, and Duran had a very good game as well. He scored the game-winning run. He had a couple of nice hits, and he had that really good play in the field. Probably stays in the game, but I think 2 runs score that inning if he doesn't make that diving play. And then you see Granite's big hit, which dunked right in front of Tendler, and that scored Iannetta, and that put the game at 2-2. But then Tyler Wade could not drive in anymore that inning, despite giving it a good ride. Caused the game to go to extras. And then the RailRiders spreading in the top 11th with his first and second, but a double play by Higashioka, who had a pretty good game on the day. Put the PawSox out of the jam. And then Tendler with the ground rule double just down the left field line. A game of inches it seems. A couple of diving plays, a couple of balls that just made it fair, and that's the key to the game. We also had that Ford missed home run. As final score is 3-2 PawSox, and we have a lot of great games on the day. We're going to have Durham against Norfolk. Jaden Becker. He missed her 3 on the call. As you see, final box score. We got hits all down the Scranton lineup. Almost everyone had a hit. See Bettis 5 in the 3rd innings of work. More use than usual. And you see that Pawtucket had a lot of production at the bottom of the lineup, surprisingly, and used a little bit more of their bullpen, as we are joined by Jaden Becker in the booth and P Mr. 3. And a little bit of a long game. You guys are going to have to start a tiny bit late, but exciting one nonetheless. And you guys should have an exciting one coming up, Durham and Norfolk. Can you guys tell me about that one?
Yeah, definitely going to be a good one here. We have the Baltimore affiliate going up against the Tampa Bay affiliate, so a lot of young, big-time prospects here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of Major League scouts in attendance, trying to see what pieces they might want to pick up for the final stretch here.
And the youth movement has been so important for both teams, especially the Orioles. You just look at that team, and it has had the struggles in the past, but the youth has been very, very important, and what they do in the minor leagues definitely could be a precedent of what's going to be shown in the majors.
Okay. Should be a great game here, and I'm going to sign off and leave it to you two, as final score of our game was Pawtucket 3 and Scranton 2, and back to you guys.